Hey Cora, how's it going?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. So first off, I just want to start by going over confidentiality with you before we get into anything personal or anything like that that you want to talk about today. So anything we talk about will stay between us unless you express harm to others or harm to yourself, or my records get subpoenaed to court. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it.
I just want to make sure that you know, like, this is a safe space. Like, you can talk to me about anything you feel comfortable sharing. Don't feel like you have to share if you don't want to. I just want you to do what you're comfortable with.
Okay, thank you.
So last week you came to this group home, and you've never been to a group home before.
No.
How do you feel?
Um, I was kind of nervous going in, and I don't know, it's a completely different experience. And I don't know, it's not going the way I thought. Like, I thought maybe like being in a group with like a bunch of girls and stuff and like having those support people like would be good. But I'm not really getting like a good experience out of it. Like, I just feel like everyone's kind of against me and like I'm like isolated and like by myself.
So you feel it's a little hard to adjust?
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing that you feel is the hardest thing to adjust to?
I think the hardest thing is like have just like not having anyone. Like, I'm just kind of by myself and like I'm kind of shy and I'm not good at making connections. So like I get maybe the girls like see me as new and don't want to talk to me, but even like the workers there like don't try to help me or like don't really speak to me unless like I speak to them. So I just like feel alone and like isolated.
Okay. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that this is how your very first experience is going. Um, do you feel that maybe you're nervous and like the people around you are feeling that you're nervous and maybe don't want to like over bombard you with anything like that?
For sure. I think like myself being nervous, it might maybe it makes me like unapproachable and like kind of like people see me like maybe as like I don't want to talk to people and stuff like that, and like I don't mean to perceive it like that. It's just kind of hard for myself to come out of my shell in such like a new and like strange place.
No, for sure. So you said you feel a little bit nervous and like closed off. Like, what kind of things would make you feel more comfortable and kind of help you come out of your shell? Like, what could we do to help you come out of your shell, or like, what could you do for yourself that's going to help you be able to open up more? And
I think one big thing is like even having like making one connection might help build my confidence, and so even if that's with like a support worker or like another girl in the group, it would definitely help me like come out of my shell a bit and they could see how I am. And even just with like the workers, I just feel like they don't care, and so it makes it harder for me, and it's just stressful.
how would you go about making that one connection, whether it was with a worker or someone who else is staying in the group home as well?
Well, there's one other girl in the group home, and she doesn't really talk to anybody either. So I think I feel the most comfortable maybe going and talking to her because she's kind of by herself. So I wouldn't have to like approach a big group. So I think that might be something that would kind of make it easier.
So you'd prefer to approach her one on one when
Yeah.
maybe you guys have a little bit of quiet time and you could just be like, hey, how's it going? Like this, and find out if you guys like have anything in common and if
Yeah.
she can be your support kind of thing within the group home.
Yeah.
If
For sure.
you did you do you prefer, like, do you want to have a connection with someone in the group home more than you do with a worker, or did you kind of want both?
I mean, I definitely want both, but I feel as though like having that connection with like one of the girls that like lives in the group home would kind of like be more beneficial just because like they're kind of like my family, I guess. Like, I don't know, it just like the workers kind of come and go, like they're getting paid. I
Yeah.
want to kind of have that connection with someone who like is there and is kind of going through the same things I am.
So do you feel that there's a misconnection with the workers because you feel like they're getting paid and maybe that they don't care as much?
For sure. I feel like it's a completely different atmosphere. I'm used to like, well, like when I was with my family and stuff, like they were there because like that's my family, that's what they did. But now here, like they're just looking after me because that's their job.
Do you feel that there's any way to kind of repair the misconnection that you have with them? Like things that they could do or you'd like to see them do, or something that you could do to kind of make the misconnection not be as prominent as you feel that it is?
I think even just like getting to know them, and I need to get over like I know that yes they are there to work, but obviously if they're there to work, it's because they want to be there. So I think I just like being here so soon is just something I need to adjust to. So I think even like as time goes, it might be something I get more comfortable with. But even like just having the workers like have conversations with me and me getting to know the workers even more as people than just like workers, like getting
Yeah.
to know them personally instead of just these people that are here like taking care of me.
What stems the, like, let's say, vision that you have that you feel that they're only here to do their job and get paid for it and then go home? Like, where does that come from?
I don't know. I just feel like with any like job people do, right? Like they're doing it like for the money and stuff, and I just feel like it's not like they're not my family, so they don't care. Like they're in
Yeah.
it for the money kind of thing.
Okay, that makes sense, and I understand where you're coming from. Do you feel that if you were to make a connection with them, that um, let's say stereotype or vision that you have of them in your head would kind of disappear or change a little bit?
I think it would for sure. It's just kind of hard to make that connection because they do seem so distant and they're older than me and like bigger than me. So I just feel like they should be the ones to talk to me.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to be that person that has to make like I'm new here. You should be welcoming me and making me comfortable. So that's just something that like I don't understand.
And what kind of things could they do to help you make you feel more comfortable and at home? Because everybody's different. Everybody likes different things. Like some people like to be left alone for them to get used to the new atmosphere that they're put in, and well as others are, I need you to like comfort me and like talk to me, kind of thing. So what do you feel works best for you to become comfortable in this new setting?
I think like for me to be comfortable, they need to like approach me and like talk to me and like tell me about themselves and like ask me questions about myself and like be able to build that like connection on like a friendship level and to be like able to like go out and do things and like ask them like my like get them to ask my opinion on stuff. So like it would kind of make it easier for me to like approach them.
How would how would you go about getting them to know that and understand that?
I think that as hard as it might be, like even if I maybe open up to myself to them first, they might like take it upon them and kind of notice that like
Yeah.
I do want to like know them, and I think that might make it a little bit easier and like they might see that I'm quiet so I don't talk, so maybe they see it as like I don't want to be spoken to and I don't care. But like maybe if I make that first move and kind of start the conversation, they'll see that I am friendly and like I do want to have a conversation.
So what you're saying is you're someone who wants to be them to like come to you and talk to you, which is like going to make you feel more comfortable within the new setting that you're in, rather than being left alone as they've
Yeah.
been so far. Do you feel comfortable talking to them about this? Going to them saying like, I need this from you?
I don't, not right now, just because I don't like have that connection or that like boundaries. Like I'm still new
Yeah.
and like I don't feel comfortable going up to like random people and them just like knowing personal information about myself.
No, for sure, that's totally understandable to be a little more closed off, especially in a new home for you. This is something you've never experienced before, so that's totally understandable. Do you think that there's small steps that you could do to like on both sides to get you guys to come together to meet in the middle where you feel more comfortable and they know how to make you feel more comfortable?
For sure, I think maybe even like doing like activities together and like even like as like groups like going out and like doing things together and even like getting to see because I don't even know like who they are or like what they like to do, so getting to see them like out and like doing activities, it might like make me more comfortable and like get closer connections and even just like start like little conversations about like hints about like oh like I haven't talked to you or like oh like yeah we don't talk much and stuff like that, but it's just hard for me to like start those.
No, for sure. That would definitely be like a type of bonding activity for you guys. So you can get to know them and they can get to know you. So it's more on a personal level where you don't feel that they're above you or you feel like you're on equal ground. Do you feel that like small conversations like, hey, how's it going? Like, how was your day? Like, today I did this and like I really enjoyed that. Do you think something like that could help you feel more comfortable to work up to doing these activities with them and getting to know them so you
For
feel more
sure.
equal?
I think so, and I think that's just something that like I have trouble doing. So I think if I'm able to even start that, hey, how are you, and open up that like bridge to them, they might
Yeah.
recognize that I do want to have those conversations. So even then, they might start having those conversations with me, and that could definitely like bridge the gap that I feel right now.
No, for sure. Definitely, like if you maybe you start the conversation, that might be like maybe they're waiting for you to so they know you feel comfortable talking to them instead of coming to you. Like that could definitely be something that's going on that you may not know about. It's like you feel this way and they may feel this way, but for sure, a simple "Hey, how are you?" could definitely get the ball rolling to start a conversation. Earlier, you said that you feel like attacked by the other people in the group home as well as the workers. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and like what's making you feel attacked?
Well, like I just kind of feel attacked because like they don't exclude, like they exclude me, and like I just find that like they talk about things that like I don't know how to talk about, and they don't try to like talk to me about anything, and like sometimes they're like kind of laughing and like making fun, but I don't know if they're really like making fun at me, but I just feel like alone, and like they can be kind of rude to me, and like they don't pay attention to me if I'm there. Like I just feel like I'm invisible.
And what kind of things do they exclude you from?
Like even at the dinner table, like no one talks to me, no one, like I ask for something and they kind of just like ignore me, and like somebody else has to hand it to me, or like even like in the house, or if we go outside, like nobody really like invites me into anything, or like I'm just invisible, like no one really cares to like interact with me, and like just everyday activities, like it's draining on myself because I feel like I don't have anybody, but I'm surrounded by people, but yet I still don't have those connections.
I noticed you looked a little upset when you talked about the dinner and how you feel ignored and excluded. And I just want you to know that to come into a new situation like this where you don't know anybody and it's a new setting and it's a group home, so it's obviously different from your family life. I want you to know that's something to be like proud of yourself for even stepping into the home and like staying and like sticking it out kind of thing and not like reacting in negative ways, that you're still here and like you're talking to me about it. I want you to like really know that inside yourself, like that's something you should be proud of, and
It is.
it's something you accomplished. Like you're working towards something.
It is helpful coming to talking to you. Like I already feel better just being able to like vent my ideas, and like have you kind of help me with like what direction I need to go to. And it definitely makes me like want to start conversations more, and it like you're kind of showing me that like there are things that I can do, and it doesn't always have to be like a one-sided conversation.
No, for sure. And like because you feel excluded, right? There's you could always like maybe possibly talk to the supervisor of the home, or just like talk to when you talk to the one girl, ask her if she feels the same way or something like that. Like or like continue to like put yourself out there and like because sometimes it takes people longer to come around as well, right? Like you're taking your own time to come around and like they could totally be doing that as well, so like that's just something that people experience. Everyone reacts in different ways, but do you feel that they notice that they're excluding you, or do you think it could be like they don't mean to, it's just something that's happening, or do you feel like it's intentional?
I feel like it's kind of for each like girl there's different, because a few of them I feel like it's like malicious, and them just like purposely like they don't care to get to know me, and like they don't like those are the girls that at dinner don't like answer me if I ask them to pass me something, or like those are the girls that don't care. But I also feel like there's other girls that just like not that they don't care, but they just like it's I'm just another new face, like they get those all the time. And then I feel like there is some, yeah, that just like recognize me as like the shy girl and someone they don't really like know how to approach. So I feel like with different people it's different like attitudes towards me, and it's just like I have to like know which connections I need to make with who and how to approach those.
I see where you're coming from. It's a little, you get different vibes from everybody, and it's sometimes hard to tell which way you want to go with each different person. Do you feel that you could go to each person and like go down like a path where you could get to know them? Like,
I feel like all the girls I'd be like if one way or another I could approach, except for the ones that are like treating me like maliciously.
yeah,
I feel like those are girls that like I wouldn't feel comfortable going to at this point. But like if I did make connections with like all the other girls in the house, that might like help maybe like break down that kind of like barrier that these girls have towards me. So like those girls are the ones that I'm intimidated by, but like if I maybe just like leave those girls like alone, it might make my like situation better.
Yeah, you feel if you start branching off and making small connections that everyone might come around a little bit more, because like it's a new situation for you, and it could be a new situation for them as well. But you feel if you make smaller connections within the home that with other girls that maybe everyone else will come around eventually. It's just
Yeah.
going to take a little bit more
I think
time.
so.